what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
The Carolinas hold no monopoly on great barbecue. Of course, the Low and Slow Barbecue Show is partial to the traditional styles of North Carolina barbecue, and we're proud of the pork barbecue traditions here. We also know there's plenty of really good food being cooked low and slow all around this barbecue world. Lynchburg, Virginia is one of those places. That's where Ken and Jess Hess own and operate County Smoak. That's Smoak, S-M-O-A-K, like an oaking smoke, County Smoak. The husband and wife duo of classically trained chefs have rekindled Virginia barbecue traditions while crafting their own important barbecue story. Ken and Jess and County Smoak are why the Low and Slow Barbecue Show partner with the Carolina Barbecue Festival to create this Pitmasters series of podcasts. I'm Chigger Willard, and I want to share the stories of the best Pitmasters around the Carolinas and Virginia. Before we get to our interview with Ken and Jess, don't forget that for the complete lowdown from the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, visit our website, lowslowbbqshow.com. You'll find other episodes in our Carolina Barbecue Festival Pitmaster series. You can also find the Low and Slow blog. It's filled with recipes, barbecue stories, and plenty of advice for low and slow barbecue. Of course, be sure to subscribe to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show, and we'll send every episode of the Pitmaster series direct to your podcast stream. And if you follow us online on Instagram, to see all the good stuff we're making, that's the good stuff our friends are also sharing. See all that good stuff at our Instagram page. That's Low and Slow Barbecue Show. That's all spelled out, Low and Slow Barbecue Show, to see the pictures of all that good stuff. For today's episode, we're talking with Ken and Jess Hess during the Carolina Barbecue Festival at Camp North End. That's where the County Smoak offered festival goers a house-cured and smoked pastrami that was absolutely fantastic. Served on toast with a touch of yellow mustard and a pickle. Whew! A County Smoak pastrami is a can't miss, just like their story that we get to share with you right now. Welcome to Ken and Jess Hess from County Smoak in Lynchburg, Virginia, to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. Guys, welcome. So glad to have you here as part of this great Carolina Barbecue Festival.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, we're excited to be here, barbecuing for a cause.
Yeah, fantastic. So tell me, obviously this is kind of a Carolina barbecue festival. You guys are from Virginia. Definitely glad to have you here. But tell me, what is your specialty at County Smoak?
Man, I think the one meat that we did the most work on was our prime brisket. We used to do pop-ups on the street corner, slinging barbecue, and, we knew people were using prime. Just found it at Sam's. At the time, it was pre-COVID, so it was like 20 cents more a pound. But she'd wake up. Sometimes I'd get home late from work from the restaurant I was working at. I'd be watching videos on, like, how Miguel trims meat or Aaron or something like that. And I had a rub from the Greenbrier Resort where I worked, which is where we knew Lewis Donald from, which is our good friend who started the festival. And from there, it was just constantly trying to get better. I mean, when we set out, we want to be the best in Virginia, and we keep pushing every day. Every day we beat ourselves up more than our own customers sometimes.
Cool. So what do you feel like is the secret to making good barbecue?
Start with a quality product, obviously. The best meat you can afford. Make sure that your flavors are balanced, you're taking your time, fire management. I mean, it's a culmination of skills and patience and a commitment to quality and consistency.
And for us, our team is a huge part of it.
Are you gonna cry?
No, I'm not.
We just started 2 minutes. You're already crying.
They're all there working. We're here.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's
He's very
we have a great
emotional.
team. I'm an emotional guy, but we have an awesome team. And
We do.
The guys and girls train 3 to 4 months on how to pull meat, how to rub meat, and they believe in us, and we believe in them, and it's an awesome fit for us. And our customers are what saved us. And we opened in the middle of the pandemic, and it's been rough.
Yeah, so tell me a little bit about that. You're not the first person we've talked about opening in the start of a pandemic. How have you guys been able to persevere first through some difficult times, and now in a time where it's not any less difficult, it's just different?
Well, we didn't have any option.
Yeah.
So, we signed a lease. Well, we didn't really have a whole lot of money to begin with in terms of investors to get started. And we signed a lease on a really crappy empty building, February of 2020. had no kitchen. There was no floor in the front room.
There was a hole.
And
I was literally standing in one day.
Well, and not the kind of hole where you're going to put a fire in and cook something over, right?
Like you're standing on the ground up to your knees. And Ken was working at the homestead because he'd been let go twice from the same property in Lynchburg.
Wow.
So he was working up at the homestead, and we figured, okay, well, there's money coming in from there, and we had this, our investors willing to give us a little pile of money, and we got a little loan from, from his mom. We had some room on the Amex, and then the pandemic hit 6 weeks later, and we still had nothing built out in the restaurant.
Wow.
And so we had to...
No government agency to come even inspect us.
Right. Wow.
So we had to pivot, and we were able to take the limited funds we had and go buy a food truck out in St. Louis. We drove overnight with the kids, slept in the car, drove right back because we were worried that they were going to shut down the interstate. And we're like, okay, well, we're not going to have anything to cook on. We don't have a kitchen. No other restaurants are open for us to use as a commissary. Like, what are we going to do? So we got and picked up the food truck, and it took about 6 weeks after that to even coordinate with the health inspector, who's become a really good friend of ours, to where he was coming on his own time because the health department was closed. He's like, I'm going to come and inspect you guys anyway so you can get open. So when we opened on May 12th of 2020, we had $3,000 left, across the board. So
Every account.
It was either we sell barbecue or we don't pay the mortgage, we don't pay the rent. And the landlord really didn't want to lease the building at all, even in February, before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So he gave us a 2-year lease. So we didn't have a lot of time. We did build in an option to buy the land at a pretty good price. We sit on 6 acres, but we got that food truck. We set it up in the parking lot, and we ran out of that exclusively until we were able to get the restaurant built out. I mean, it's still only 1,000 square feet. We have 10 seats inside.
We moved in the building January of 2021, so 7 months. Man, we did $700,000 that first 7 months.
Wow.
Out of the food truck.
Out of a food truck, which we thought it would just be Jess and myself.
Yeah.
Maybe one guy to help me put meats on in the morning. Maybe our daughter, who got sent home from college because the dorms got shut down, would maybe help through lunch. And it was very quickly we were like, okay, call Gino, our old dishwasher where I used to work, and he needs to start doing dishes. We need people, and we've gone as much. We now are in Liberty's home football stadium every fall game.
Yeah.
And one event last year, we had 5 caterings, the restaurant open, and the stadium. We cooked 144 butts, 20 briskets, 24 ribs, 65 whole chickens, and 10 things of turkey breast. And we had 34 people working for us in less than 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And it just gets the train just keeps rolling, and you just don't know,
We can't get off now.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you went from a make it or break it moment, and definitely you're on the verge of making it pretty good, if nothing else, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, let's talk a little bit more about your roots. Tell me about how you guys got started doing barbecue and doing it low and slow, and what kind of inspired you to go down this road?
It's all you, baby.
Lean in.
Sorry. So I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, and when I graduated high school in '94, I think there was 3 barbecue places in New York City. So I will say now that New York has its own barbecue region. I think guys like Billy Durney and the guys at Feta Sow and Blue Smoke before they closed have really created their own culture of barbecue in New York, but there was none. So when I went to Oklahoma State University, I started eating barbecue. Actually, there was an Oklahoma Joe's in Stillwater, Oklahoma, down by the bars.
Yeah.
They used to have dollar bone and dollar beer night.
Wow.
So we'd go from our fraternity house, order 2 racks each, and get just plastered eating ribs and stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought I wanted to be a master chef and a high-end chef at that time. And if I'd been smart, I would have gone and just worked there for them, and that would have been the smarter move. From Oklahoma State University, I went to the Greenbrier Resort, and there was no barbecue there. I thought West Virginia, there'd be barbecue place everywhere.
Yeah.
I walked in this place called Spud's Barbecue. There's ladies in hairnets and lab coats, and there's kettles of pulled pork butts just simmering away in sauce.
Yeah.
And they packaged it for the food lines and stuff locally. I was like, I can't get a sandwich? They're like, no, that's not what this is. So I bought a Brinkman smoker offset, which at the time, $180 was a lot of money to me.
Yeah.
It was crappy. It doesn't hold heat. It's a hard thing to learn on. And I would bring barbecue to my mentor, Ethan Heilman, who did barbecue at the resort. and he would tell me what was wrong. And we were apprentices. Lewis Donald and I were apprentices at the Greenbrier. It's a training hotel. So you learned your craft by screwing up, making mistakes, and going to a mentor and saying, hey, what do you think? And he'll tell you, or she will tell you,
It's awful.
it's awful. Or you screwed up. What are you doing? You know, and from there, we helped bring Dr. Barbecue, Myron Mixon, and Chris Lilly to teach barbecue classes at the Greenbrier in 07 into 08. And then 08, the economy crashed.
Yeah.
CSX was selling the Greenbrier Resort to a Marriott at the time, we were told. And I just didn't want to work for a Marriott and doing sauces out of bags and all that. And I wanted a barbecue restaurant. And Chris Lilly needed some help down at Big Bob Gibson's in Decatur, Alabama. And the employees had kind of taken over the main store. And I went down there. I worked there for 7 years. Jess and I met through friends of the Greenbrier. She was at CIA with them, and they were apprentices, and she came down to help them with their graduation. And I had also gone to CIA. We missed each other by like 3 years. We hung out that graduation weekend, hated each other, absolutely did not like
That's
each other.
how it always starts, right?
Yeah.
My buddy Drew and I slept on her couch for 2 weeks eating barbecue everywhere in Kansas City, where she and our oldest daughter, Allie, lived. And one day I said, hey, I'm coming to the American Royal with Big Bob Gibson. So her and a classmate of mine from CIA came, and they would hang out with me at the Royal. And then she took Allie to Space Camp in Huntsville. And I said, well, I got room on the couch. And, things happen. It's a slippery slope. And,
Right.
just
The
keeps
rest is
going.
history. That's how barbecue is, a slippery slope,
Yeah.
right? So it started kind of sounds like you were filling a gap, filling a need in West Virginia where there wasn't really a lot of barbecue available. Y'all tapped into it, and then it's been a great adventure, which included my home, Sweet Home, Alabama. I'm from Birmingham, but good to hear the Decatur part. And Big Bob Gibson, obviously, he's a rich part of the heritage, bringing that white sauce. So just tell me, as sort of an Alabama guy, what do you feel like you picked up in Big Bob Gibson's?
Oh, I mean, Don and Chris were amazing to learn from for owners.
I was going to cry again.
Good, that's two. Number two.
Well,
Mark
they're-
that up, Moose, two.
They're great mentors for us. My old chef, the Greenbrier, used to say, everyone's focused on their knife kit. You want to buy the fanciest knife, and you want like 17 knives. He's like, the other part of your knife kit is the tool kit. I mean, is the recipes and the techniques you learned from all the leads all over the Greenbrier. He's like, so if you went down to the pastry shop and learned how to do Eddie Sams's Jack Daniel's chocolate pecan pie, that's a Greenbrier staple. It's now in your arsenal. It's in your toolkit. And at Big Bob's, we would smoke 300 to 400 chickens a day at the main 6th Avenue store. So when we drove around the country for 3 months in an RV with our kids and a dog and 6 big green eggs, we went to a lot of places. And, some places of friends had amazing meat, but the sides were lacking, or the sides were really good, the meat was just not there. And as chefs, both of us, for our whole lives, it's always been pounded in our head, quality, make everything amazing. And for us, we wanted it to be ours, but the smoked chicken with Alabama white sauce is my favorite way to eat chicken, especially off the Pitmasters with the Kingsford charcoal and the hickory. And so out of respect for the McLemores and the Gibson family, we added some more smoked paprika, some garlic to the white sauce. We pepper both sides of the chicken.
Okay.
As a chef, when I first started at Big Bob's, they used iodized salt. And that to me was like, man, I can't do that. But so we use kosher salt. We black pepper the skin side and the bone side of our spatchcock chickens. So we did it to be respectful of the heritage of Big Bob's, but also let it be that, it's still something that we know and love.
Right.
So we wanted to showcase that. And Virginia has an amazing barbecue history. It's where barbecue started. I don't care what the Carolina people say.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry, but
Do we need to shut this down right now?
yeah, but for us, Virginia's kind of lost its barbecue identity. You've got great people like ZZQ in Richmond, Buzz and Ned's. I'm drawing blanks.
Gordonville.
Oh, Barbecue Exchange in Gordonsville. And people are starting to take their own take on barbecue and create the Virginia history. And, we're doing a smoked prime brisket pastrami today, which is going to be featured in our next restaurant that we're getting ready to open August or February. August or September. I do not know why February came out of my mouth.
Don't curse us like
Yeah,
that.
right. So You know, pastrami is something I used to make at the Greenbrier Resort. Jess is Jewish, and it's definitely, smoked pastrami is like king of the Jewish cookery
Right,
sometimes. And so we just try to just put our spin on our world of barbecue and let it roll.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So maybe tell me, what inspires you? Obviously, you got a lot of heart in it. You got a lot of love for it. Did you say you drove an RV around the country and went to a bunch of places? Take a moment and tell me a little bit about that, Jess. I'll let you talk.
Oh, yeah.
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, so back in 2016, there was a lot of upheaval. I think it was time for us to leave Alabama. Our oldest had gotten accepted to college at 13 years old up at Mary Baldwin
Wow.
University in Virginia, which is how we actually landed in Virginia. But we didn't know how that was going to shake out for her, and we didn't know what the future was really going to hold for us. And so we knew we couldn't sell our house in Alabama with children in it. We had toddlers, and every time you try to like paint the wall,
yeah.
they touch it, and then we're like, we can't sell this house with them in it. So
Yeah.
we bought a camper, and we decided to do a trip a barbecue tour around the country in this camper, and it was branded as Carney's Traveling Meat Circus.
But Carney's like carnivore.
Yeah.
Not,
Not like the carnival workers,
Yeah.
but carnivore. Yeah, I got it.
Carney's Traveling Meat Circus, and it was originally like supposed to be filmed and pitched and everything else, and then we realized traveling with 3 kids and a dog and never having owned a camper, it was just a whole thing. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there was a tremendous learning curve, but we went all the way. First thing we did, we went from Alabama up to Maine, back down the coast, the East Coast. We went across
Georgia.
Down to Georgia. We went across to see Leslie and them at U-Bonds in Mississippi. We went through Louisiana. We went all the way across
And
Texas.
along the way, you're just hitting barbecue joints.
I halfway across Texas, I tapped out. I was like, dude, I'm done with brisket. When we hit KC, like I'm back in for ribs.
Yeah.
But like I'm done on brisket. He had to meet up with one of his buddies from elementary school to like go sit in the Aaron Franklin line in the morning because I'm like, I'm not even.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him in like 20 years, and we had a case of beer and just made friends. I mean, we're still friends with one of the guys to the right of us in Aaron Franklin's line. Is from Louisiana, had his own pop-up barbecue business. He and I are still friends, and I brought the brisket home to her because she's like, I'm done. I mean, Obi was still in diapers. Maya was potty training. Allie's 13. We had an Australian healer with us. I mean, it was one of the dumber moves we've probably done.
No, but that's something that you and your family are going to remember for the rest of
Yeah.
your life, and your kids are going to carry that with them, and they may hate barbecue from here on out, or they may love it, but at least they've gotten a chance to see this great world, not just in the sense of geography, but also in the barbecue and the regions and all the different places that are different, because Virginia's a little different than Alabama, and South Alabama's a little different, and Eastern North Carolina and Western North Carolina, they're all a little bit different, and y'all got to do that, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, it was awesome.
We got a picture of Maya when she's 2.5, 3 at Sam Jones's
In a little pink dress.
Yeah.
with all the hogs just hanging.
Yeah, it's one of our favorite
Wonderful.
things. And, our kids, our oldest runs the front of the house for us right now. And Maya and Obi work. They know how to work the register. They know how to do dishes. They know how to cup sides. And all of that is, barbecue's about family. And the business, for us, we couldn't survive without our family.
So we're going to take a quick break and continue our conversation with Ken and Jess Hess from County Smoak right after this important message.
Hey everybody, John Reep here, and I'm with Lauren Weaver of the Hickory Smokehouse, and we have partnered up and we have come up with what we think is the best barbecue sauce in the world. It's called John Reep's Hickory Smokehouse South in Your Mouth Barbecue Sauce. But don't just take our word for it. Listen to what other chefs are saying. So this holiday season, reap the benefits, sop it up, let your taste buds rise again, and put a little South in your mouth.
We got it in hot, too.
Yeah. Thanks, Lauren.
Welcome back to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. I'm Chigger Willard, and you're listening to the Pitmasters series of the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. We partnered with the Carolina Barbecue Festival to share the stories of the barbecue pitmasters, who are the ringmasters of the Carolina barbecue events. And we're going to get back to the interview with Ken and Jess Hess in just a second. But first, let me give you all the details on all their business. You can find them online at countysmoak.com. Again, that's smoke, S-M-O-A-K, smoke, so countysmoak.com. Check out the County Smoak store for the rubs. They're named appropriately. Virginia is for barbecue lovers. They also sell some really cool shirts, hats, stickers. Visit the website. You can also get a look at the fan favorites from the menu. And like I said, it's hard to pass up that smoke-cured pastrami. But a pork sandwich with bacon and blue cheese coleslaw, fire and ice pickle relish, and Q-Tang sauce? Whew, my mouth is watering. If you're in or around Lynchburg, Virginia, get to their place Wednesday through Sunday from 11 till 7 or 8, depending on the night, or whenever they run out of barbecue. And as they like to say it, they get smoked out a lot. You can find County Smoak Barbecue at home football games for Liberty University as well. And County Smoak also provides catering service. They'll deliver within Lynchburg city limits. Be sure to follow County Smoak on Instagram to see the good stuff they've got cooking. You can find them at County Smoak, S-M-O-A-K. You can also follow Ken himself at Carney's Meat Circus. Now let's return to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show Pitmaster Series interview with Ken and Jess Hess during the barbecue festival. Before the break, Ken was telling us that County Smoak couldn't survive without family. So, Ken, what does it mean to you as part of that family and in a larger family here in the barbecue community? What does it mean to you to be invited to participate in the Carolina Barbecue Festival?
Well, when Lewis first came up with this, it was just going to be the Carolinas. He started small, and then he's like, all right, I'm not going to invite anyone from Georgia, Virginia.
Well, you can't leave his brother behind, right? From Greenbrier days, that's my homie. You can't leave him behind.
So we were honored. We actually did an event at the Gasparilla Inn with some other Greenbrier folks for Father's Day last year. Lewis cooked one of Tank's hogs there. We did prime brisket there. And Lewis, like, you guys are coming next year. We'll get you to the festival. It's for charity. And, like Michael Leftwich, I've known him for years. Some of these guys like Elliot and Brian and Garen that I've wanted to meet. It's great to just sit here and watch them burning their fire and burning their wood and just hanging out and trying each other's food.
Yeah, fantastic. So talking a little bit about that charity piece, Barbecue for a Cause obviously supporting great charities here in Charlotte, Heal Charlotte, and some others, but then also know that it's supporting several that really help out the brothers and sisters you guys have in your food service industry. So, why do you believe it's important to support Barbecue for a Cause? And again, what does it mean to you to be part of that, a network of folks that's helping folks like you who just went through your own trials and tribulations?
I mean, it's a tough business, even in the best of times. This is like the worst of trades. Food service, barbecue particularly. Barbecue's done a really great job, I think, from the beginning of nurturing and supporting one another in a lot of different ways, whether it's, training each other or teaching each other and, visiting each other's places or being up at night, all night, sitting by the fires together. It's always been a lot of brotherhood, sisterhood, camaraderie, and I think just in the broader sense, that's what this industry is. It's just about building more family. I mean, he cries when he talks about our staff. I mean, it really is our family, and this is just an extension of that.
Yeah, I can't think that counts as three times. He's kind of teared up.
Oh, yeah, probably, yeah. But the other thing is, when we first started, we had a lot of turkey left over.
Yeah.
It's the sleeper meat. Nobody orders turkey first.
Okay.
We have an excellent turkey, and we had it left over, and Jess is like, what are we going to do with this leftover whole turkey breast that we didn't sell the first 4 days?
Yeah.
And it's like, at the time, COVID had happened. All of the chefs, bartenders, managers, GMs, busboys, busgirls were all out of work. And obviously I can eat. I've never gone without a meal. And for us, it was like, hey, if you don't have work or any reason you need to feed your kids, we'll give you 2 pounds of sliced cold turkey. We'll give you hot sides. And because of turkey and Thanksgiving, Jess came up with Thankful Thursdays.
Yeah.
And then people started donating to that for us. And now any day you come in, you're like, hey, my radiator went out. I can't get any money or get to work till my next paycheck. I've got 4 kids. We just ask any allergies, and we give you food. Now, with the price of briskets and some stuff going so
Yeah.
high, we've kind of limited it to just pork and chicken now because,
Yeah.
you know, if I'm only cooking 14 slabs of ribs, I can't give you 2 for the day. But, you know, that's one of the ways we give back. And
But like, you know, nobody gets, well, very few people get rich in this business, but it's the, you know, they say you're always going to eat if you work in a restaurant. You're always going to be fed. And so, you know, we're able to do that for other people. Even if we can't write $10,000 checks to this organization or $5,000 checks to that organization, and we don't have time to volunteer, it's like we know we can always feed people. We always have extra food. There's never an issue if the table is open. Like there's a seat for everybody at the table. If you're hungry, come eat.
Yeah, fantastic. Sounds like you're aggressively working to build that family like you're talking about, whether it's in your store or in your community or the nation at large. So, again, speaking with Ken and Jess Hess from County Smoak in Lynchburg, Virginia, we're going to wrap it up. I want to try to get you one tip that every home pitmaster needs to know. If you could share one tip every home pitmaster needs to know.
get a really good thermometer, consistency of your smoker, and then cook it till it's done. It's barbecue, low and slow. That's the way to go. And then, you know, every piece of meat cooks differently. Check them all. Good thermometer.
Fantastic. All right, so now it's the low and slow barbecue showdown. We're going to wrap it up after that. It's little quick hitters here. Just want to give you a one-word opportunity to answer here. So, ready? Best Carolina barbecue style. One second. So let's wrap it up here with our low and slow barbecue showdowns. Just some quick hitter, one-word answers on some of the hot topics around the barbecue world. So first of all, best Carolina barbecue style, Eastern or Western?
Oh.
Our favorite was Skylight.
I was going to say Skylight. I forget Eastern Western, just Skylight.
Skylight?
That's my one-word answer.
That's
Skylight.
Eastern, but that's good. I need to add that.
Barbecue.
Best barbecue restaurant, your favorite one. So Eastern, Skylight. So gas, pellets, or charcoal?
Charcoal and wood only.
Absolutely. Best state for barbecue?
Virginia.
Phew. Boy, I tell you. Okay, all right. So pork, beef, or chicken?
Beef.
Yeah.
Beef. Beef it is. Sauce, is it better with or without?
Depends. Without if it's right.
Yeah.
Good answer. If you do have sauce, do you want it sweet or spicy?
Both.
Little sweet little heat.
Little sweet little
Like
heat.
every show in the world.
Yeah, I like it. So is barbecue a verb or a noun?
It's a lifestyle.
There you go. I like that because that, my friends, is the lowdown from Pitmasters Ken and Jess Hess from County Smoak in Lynchburg, Virginia, here at the Carolina Barbecue Festival. Guys, thank you so much for taking some time with the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. We appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We love having you. Thank you. We love being here. Thank you very much. Perfect. Thank you for having us. What I was trying to say, but I screwed that up completely.
A big thank you to the Hess family and their County Smoak restaurant. They make some fantastic barbecue, but beyond that, they're genuinely good people, as you can tell. And I can't wait to take a trip up to Virginia and experience their family barbecue tradition again. Special thanks to the Carolina Barbecue Festival, who hosted the Low and Slow Barbecue Show and helped us coordinate our Pitmaster interviews. The whole team at Carolina Barbecue Festival is a fantastic event. They've created one out there. It's wonderful. Find out all about the festival at carolinabbqfest.org. And of course, keep your eyes peeled for the details on next year's festival. Thanks as well to Lewis Donald from Sweet Lou's Barbecue. He's the founder and two-time participant in the Low Slow Barbecue Show. And he's also the driving force behind the festival. And he's done a great job creating a fun, family-friendly barbecue event. And be sure to visit his barbecue joint in Charlotte's Belmont neighborhood. That's Sweet Lou's BBQ. You've been listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show on the Mesh.tv network of podcasts. Thank you to the Jackson Creative and Andrew Moose, our executive producer. They helped make the Low and Slow Barbecue Show Pitmaster series possible. Be sure to visit us online at lowslowbbqshow.com. That's where you'll find the Low and Slow blog and other Low and Slow Barbecue Show episodes. Be sure to look for the conversation with our other Pitmasters. You can also see our YouTube Pitmaster, our backyard Pitmaster, get the beer and barbecue pairings from the Three Beers Down group. That's all there on our website. And you can even get advice for barbecue from London just in time for some 4th of July ribs from across the pond. Be sure to subscribe, and we'll send the next episode of our Pitmaster series directly to your podcast stream. Thank you for listening to the Low and Slow Barbecue Show. I'm Chigger Willard, reminding you that for the best barbecue and for the best barbecue podcast, make it low and slow.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.